Abu Talib, and especially his blessed mother Fatima bint Asad alayhim as-salatu was-salam, they were also pure, tahir and tahira. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Kaaba is a place Allah Azza wa Jal had ordered Ibrahim and Ismail alayhim as-salam an tahira baytiya lit-ta'ifin wal-'akifin wal-ruk'a as-sujud. It is your responsibility, and the responsibility will continue to your generation, that you must keep it always tahir and pure. No impurity can come to Kaaba. This is first point. Second point, what is Kaaba? Since the beginning, Kaaba has been the foundation of Tawheed, the pillar of oneness of Allah Azza wa Jal. All those who connect themselves with Allah, all those who believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, they've always revered and respected Kaaba. So Kaaba is the center of Tawheed, oneness of Allah Azza wa Jal, belief in God. And Imam Ali, being born inside the Kaaba, is Mola Ali. He is the master of all those who believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. He is the chief of all those who revere Kaaba, who revere Allah Azza wa Jal, who are connected with Allah Azza wa Jal. Point number 3. Without Kaaba, our prayers are incomplete. If we pray, all the qualities of a beautiful prayer are present with us in our prayers. We've done perfect wudu. We've worn beautiful clothes, pak, tahir, pure cloth. And we are praying with utmost dedication, tears in our eyes. Our limbs are trembling before Allah Azza wa Jal. But just imagine, your direction is not towards the Kaaba, in the opposite direction, or left, right. Will your prayer be accepted? You have to repeat your prayer. It's not accepted, it's batil, it's invalid. It doesn't matter how devotionally, how dedicatedly, how beautifully you pray. But if you turn your face from Kaaba, even for a single second during your salah is batil. In the same way, it doesn't matter how hard you try, how beautifully you take Islam, how beautifully you practice Islam. But if you are away from Ali ibn Abi Talib, then your prayers, your Islam, your Iman, nothing is going to be accepted. Because true Islam, true Iman, you will not find anywhere except in Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. And perhaps fourth reason was that as Imam Ali is emblem of faith, Amirul Mu'mineen, the leader of all the believers, Imamul Muttaqeen, the leader of all the pious men and women, Maulana Al-Muwahhideen, the master of all those who believe in Allah Azza wa Jal in Tawheed. Perhaps Allah Azza wa Jal made this arrangement for Imam Ali to be born inside the Kaaba. So all those people who believe in Allah, all those people who claim to be a mu'min, all those people who claim to be a Muslim, all those people who pray, at least 5 times a day, they turn their heads towards Kaaba and they reflect on Kaaba, on the importance of Kaaba. Once in a year, the biggest gathering of Muslim world takes place around the Kaaba. They circumambulate around the Kaaba. So when they circumambulate around the Kaaba during Hajj season, or when they pray towards Kaaba every day, 5 times a day, they don't forget Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam's significance and his relevance with Kaaba, with Islam, with Iman, with the center of Tawheed. time you pray towards Kaaba, you are reminded of the importance of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. Because without Ali, nothing is going to be helpful. It doesn't matter how hard you try to practice Islam. As hard as you practice Islam without Ali ibn Abi Talib, this Islam is going to take away from Allah Azza wa Jal with the same speed. This Islam is going to disgrace you in this world and in the hereafter with the same speed. And if you want to see examples, just look at Taliban, just look at Daesh, ISIS. Don't say they are not dedicated to Islam. They are so dedicated, they are ready to blast themselves, sacrifice their lives. So there is no shortage of dedication. But the problem is, their dedication is in wrong way, without Ali ibn Abi Talib. So having said that, I would just like to explain briefly how Imam Ali alayhi salam was born inside the Kaaba. History says that when Fatima bint Asad, the mother of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, experienced the pain of labor, she went towards Kaaba. And that was definitely an arrangement from Allah Azza wa Jal. Otherwise, in that situation, women don't leave their houses. They stay in their comfort zone. She went towards Kaaba, and she held the wall of Kaaba, and she prayed to Allah Azza wa Jal in a very, very magnificent and special way. She said a few sentences, and towards the end, she said, "O Allah, for the sake of the one who built this house, and for the sake of the one who is in my womb, lamma yassarta li amri, make my task easy, make my labor easy." And once she mentions the name of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, all of a sudden, historians say, they witness, eyewitnesses, they say, we saw the walls of Kaaba split away. And Fatima bint Asad, just imagine if there is a house and the wall is splitting. A woman, or even the bravest man, will they stay there? Will they go inside? Or will they escape? They will run away. But Fatima bint Asad, she was the mother of the Lion of Allah Azza wa Jal. And she knew what was happening. So she entered the Holy Kaaba. And then history says she remained inside Kaaba for 3 days, and according to some narrations, for 4 days. Now the question is, she went towards Holy Kaaba empty-handed. She didn't have any food. She didn't have any drink. So what she ate, what she drank while inside the Kaaba? When she was asked about that, she said, Allah Azza wa Jal provided me with the fruits of paradise. And when she was leaving the Kaaba, again, from the same place, the walls got split, and she easily came out of Kaaba. And when she was coming out of Kaaba, she said 2 beautiful sentences. Number 1, prosperous, successful are those who will obey this child, and doomed and wretched are those who disobey this child. And the news reached to the family, to Abu Talib, to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to other members of this blessed house, and all rushed towards Kaaba. For 3 days or for 4 days, many people tried to open the lock of Kaaba. They had the keys, but none of the keys worked. And Kaaba kept being locked. And to the surprise, to our surprise, to everyone's surprise, history doesn't say there was any sort of, struggle or any sort of restlessness from Abu Talib, from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or from the household of this blessed family. Other people, they were distressed. What is happening with Fatima bint Asad? But Abu Talib, the father, was absolutely peaceful. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, absolutely peaceful. Because they knew about the plan of Almighty Allah Azza wa Jalla. And this is another proof of the greatness and dignity and honor of Abu Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam came, and history says when the family was coming, rushing towards Kaaba, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam was walking ahead of them. He was even ahead of Abu Talib alayhi salam. And when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam came and he stood in front of Fatima bint Asad alayhi salam, Fatima bint Asad handed Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam to Rasulullah, and Fatima bint Asad was a little bit concerned. Rasulullah asked her, "Oh my dear auntie, why are you a little bit concerned?" She said, "Ya Rasulullah, the child is amazing, everything is perfect. Allah Azza wa Jal's arrangement is beyond my glorification. There is one tiny problem. The child hasn't opened his eyes yet." Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to her, "Oh my dear auntie, hand him to me." Rasulullah took him in his lap. And once Rasulullah took him in his lap, Imam Ali all of a sudden opened his eyes and looked directly in the face of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At that point, Rasulullah made a historical sentence, "Ya Ali, khassastani bin nadar wa khassastuka bil ilm." "Oh Ali, you exclusively reserved your eyes to look into me, so I have reserved my knowledge exclusively for you." Then Abu Talib alayhi salam slaughtered several camels and he announced walima. It's an open feast for everybody. However, there was a condition. In fact, two conditions. If you want to enjoy the feast of the auspicious birth of this child, you need to do two things. Number one, first you go to Kaaba, circumambulate around it 7 times, do tawaf of Kaaba 7 times. Then go to Ali ibn Abi Talib and say salam to him and enjoy your feast. Again, if you pay attention, Allah and Ali ibn Abi Talib cannot be separated. If you want to be connected with Ali ibn Abi Talib, first you need to connect yourself with Allah. And when you feel connected with Allah Azza wa Jal, the sign of your connection, that your connection has been established with Allah Azza wa Jal, is that you love Ali ibn Abi Talib, you feel connected with Ali ibn Abi Talib as well. First you go to Kaaba, circumambulate 7 times, then go and say salam to Ali ibn Abi Talib. This is really meaningful and beautiful. Let's recite a loud salawat in the honor of Ali ibn Abi Talib, Abu Talib and Fatima bint Asad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. This personality is full of lessons, inspirations. I'm restricting myself to 2. Number 1, knowledge. In human history, other than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no one is considered more knowledgeable than Ali ibn Abi Talib. It is a fact that no one denies. Ana madinatul ilm wa aliyun babuha. I am the gateway of, I am the city of knowledge, and Ali ibn Abi Talib is gateway to that city. There are many ahadith. I'm not mentioning the ahadith. And Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam was the one who used to say, from the mimbar, saluni qabla an tafqiduni, whatever you want to ask, ask, I'm here before you lose me. And no one says that any single person ask any question to Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, and Imam Ali, even he asked for some time to reflect, then he would answer. He immediately provided the answer. So his knowledge is beyond the doubts. What we learn from this beautiful virtue of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, being the followers of Ali ibn Abi Talib, especially I am talking to our young people, to our youth. We all, alhamdulillah, are blessed to be loving Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And we should be really thankful to our mothers, to our fathers, who have directed us to this source of virtues, who have made us to love Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah Azza wa Jal says, had people united themselves on one thing, I wouldn't have created the hellfire. What is that one thing? The love of Ali ibn Abi Talib. If all the people had united themselves to love Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, there would be no trace of hellfire. This love is so important, so exclusive, so beautiful. So we should be really thankful to our mothers, to our fathers, to our parents who have brought us to this great blessing of loving of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Alhamdulillah. We are connected with Ali ibn Abi Talib. But what is our responsibility? He was the most knowledgeable person. If we are the true lovers, true followers of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, we need to prove it with our actions. And one dimension of proving our love to Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam is we transform ourselves into best and most knowledgeable people in our capacity, in our human capacity. So I would encourage all the youth that if you want to prove that Ali was the most knowledgeable person, say it with your tongue, but that won't count in the eyes of people. Prove it with your action. You also become the most knowledgeable student in your class, the best student in your class, the best student in your school. Make it your target. I'm not saying from academic perspective it is possible for everybody, but at least you try. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam himself says in Nahj al-Balagha, he writes a letter to Usman bin Hunayf, and in that letter Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam says, I know you cannot be like me, walakin a'inuni bi wara'in wa ijtihad, but at least try to help me in my virtues, in my qualities. So I request all of you, don't waste your time on gadgets. Don't waste your times on stupid serials and series and Netflix and all these distractions. Based on scientific researches in our contemporary world, these gadgets and these series and these games, playstations, they are the worst hindrance in the progress of the students. They are the biggest deterrent in the success and prosperity and progress of the students. Don't think your friends are doing this. Don't say, all my buddies are doing this. No. You are different than them. They don't love Ali ibn Abi Talib. You love Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. They don't have Ali ibn Abi Talib. You have Ali ibn Abi Talib. Not only one Ali ibn Abi Talib. You have 14 Ali ibn Abi Talib. You have a living Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Imam of our time. Don't compare yourselves with them. Try to be excellent in your class in terms of academic achievements, in terms of ethical achievements, in terms of your morality, in terms of your spiritual beauty. And you have full ability, full capability to do that. You just need to monitor your time, manage your time, utilize your time in best possible way. Don't waste your time. Imam Ali ﷺ himself used to say, Al-fursatu tamur kama yamurru sahab. The opportunities fly away. The opportunities pass by like clouds. Clouds keep moving. You don't feel. In the same way, opportunities will go away. You will lose them, use them or lose them. There are only two options. There is no third option. And the age that you are in, if you are 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old, that is the best age. Unfortunately, our students, they are not as excellent they are supposed to be. I'm not talking about from religious perspective, even from worldly achievements. In the beginning, the school system in Canada, in Western world, it is really tricky. It is really, really tricky. They made it so flexible that up to grade 9, a student thinks it's just a piece of cake. They don't put any pressure. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. No homework, no pushing. But once they enter high school, especially from grade 10, and especially grade 11 and 12, they tide the rain. Based on the statistics, I used to go to U of C, University of Calgary. I was as a chaplain over there. So they used to inform us about the students' psychology, their feelings, and their problems. So I was surprised to hear that they say 30% of the university students, they feel suicidal. You know why? Because they came from schools, from high schools, which were really flexible. But once they enter university, as they were not acquainted, as they didn't have, they were not used to hard working, to pushing themselves, to writing articles, to making speeches, delivering presentations. They were not acquainted with all these skills. So all of a sudden, they feel overwhelmed, overburdened. And 30% students, they feel suicidal. And a lot of them even attempted to commit suicides. So that is the system. So I request parents, and before parents, I request all of you, mashallah, you all are wise people. Even those who are 7 years old, 8 years old, they can fully understand what I'm talking to. So pay attention, and from the very beginning, choose your direction. Don't waste your time, work hard. Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he was the hardest person to work. He was hardest working person. So this is the first lesson, and second lesson, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam was the bravest person, most knowledgeable, and Imam Ali was at the same time the bravest person. No one confronted Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam except he was defeated. And history says, كَانَتْ ضَرْبَاتُهُ أَبْكَارًا. He never killed two people in the same fashion, in the same style. All those people who got killed, he killed all of them in unique way, in a new way. كَانَتْ ضَرْبَاتُهُ أَبْكَارًا. And history also confirmed, this is also interesting, كَانَتْ ضَرْبَاتُهُ وَطْرًا. He never repeated. He killed every single person only in one blow of sword. There was no need to repeat it. Only one blow was sufficient to knock them down, crush them, and turn them into ashes, into dust. He was so brave. Yes, there is one exception. He killed only one person with the 2 blows of sword. Who was that person? Marhab? No. Amr bin Abdawad? Yes, you are right. MashaAllah. Let's shout aloud salawat for the brother. Allahumma salli ala. Why Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam killed him with the 2 blows of swords? Why not one? Was he so brave? Imam Ali used to say, if whole Arab comes to me to confront me, I by myself I alone would defeat the whole Arab alone, without the need of any single person. So why Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam used his sword twice to slice him into pieces? Why?
He was covered in iron all the way, and first blow was in legs, and the second blow was... No, he spit on Mola. No, because he killed his heart.
MashaAllah, let's add aloud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. That is the answer. Amr bin Abdud, if you remember, Imam Ali was not only Imam of human beings, he was the Imam of the animals as well. He was the Imam of jinns as well. He was the Imam of the entire world. So Amr bin Abdud, in the beginning, when Imam Ali asked him to come and fight with me, first Imam Ali alayhi salam offered Islam to him. He said, no, I cannot accept. Then Imam Ali alayhi salam asked him to leave the battlefield. He said, no, I cannot leave. Then Imam Ali said, okay, if you don't accept the first two, then come off your horse. I'm on my foot, you are on your horse. So if you are a brave person, come out of your horse, come off your horse, dismount your horse and fight with me. So he came off the horse and he did something really horrible. He used his sword and he chopped the legs off the horse. Then Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, when he was punishing him, he took the revenge of that innocent animal. First he chopped his legs, like he chopped the legs of the horse. And then Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam killed him with one blow of sword. This is Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. Ya Allah salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. What we can learn from this beautiful bravery of Imam Ali alayhi salam? Be brave. Don't be nagging. Don't act like coward people. Don't be crying. Imam Ali says, the world is 2 days. The whole world is 2 days. Your whole life is 2 days. 1 day is in favor of you. 1 day is against you. When the world is in favor of you, don't feel yourself over the moon. Don't be arrogant. Don't forget Allah Azza wa Jal. Don't leave your dignity. And when the world is against you, don't start nagging. Don't start complaining. Be brave. Be resistant. Be resilient. Be powerful. And he used to say, أَغْلَبُ النَّاسِ مَنْ غَلَبَ هَوَاهُ. The strongest person is not the one who kills thousands of people in the battlefield. The strongest person is the one who overcomes his temptations, his desires, his nafs. Be brave in the face of challenges, in the face of calamities, in the face of tests and trials. Be helpful to your parents. Be helpful to your siblings. Not only you are resistant, you are powerful. Be supportive to your parents. Be supportive to your siblings, to your friends, to your family members. Always be brave. That is the true bravery. We don't have the opportunity to go and kill the enemies of Allah Azza wa Jal. Inshallah, that dream of us will come true when Imam al-Hujjah alayhi salatu wa salam reappears. But before that, our battlefields are various. Our battlefield is our nafs. Our battlefield is the temptations. Our battlefield is the desires. Our battlefield is the sufferings. Our battlefield is the calamities of this world. Be brave in all these battlefields, like your Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam was the bravest person in all the battlefields he entered. Let's recite a loud salawat once again. 7 मिनट में इंशाल्लाह गुफ्तगू मुकम्मल हो जाएगी. مولا علی علیہ الصلوۃ والسلام کے حوالے سے رسول اللہ صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم نے فرمایا علی کی مثال سورہ قل هو اللہ جیسی ہے. علی کی مثال سورہ قل هو اللہ جیسی. کیا مطلب؟ قل هو اللہ کی خاصیت یہ ہے کہ اگر کوئی ایک مرتبہ پڑھتا ہے تو اس نے 1/3 قرآن کو ختم کیا. اگر کوئی سیکنڈ ٹائم پڑھتا ہے اس نے 2/3، اور اگر کوئی تھرڈ ٹائم پڑھتا ہے تو اس نے گویا پورا قرآن کریم ختم کر لیا. علی کی مثال سورہ قل هو اللہ جیسی ہے. جس نے علی کو اپنے دل سے مانا اس نے 1/3 آف ایمان کو حاصل کر لیا، اور جس نے علی کو اپنے دل سے بھی مانا اور اپنی زبان سے بھی مانا اس نے 2/3 آف فیتھ ایکوائر کر لیا، اور جس نے دل سے بھی مانا، زبان سے بھی مانا اور عمل سے بھی مانا اس نے پورا ایمان اپنے اندر سمیٹ لیا.
نعرہ حیدری.
دیکھیں، اگر آپ کو ایمان چاہیے، اگر آپ کو عمل صالح چاہیے، ہماری پوری زندگی انہی 2 پرنسپلز کے ارد گرد گھومتی ہے. ایک کا نام ہے ایمان اور دوسرے کا نام ہے عمل صالح. یہی 2 پرنسپلز ہیں، ڈٹرمننگ پرنسپلز، جو ہماری پوری لائف کو، چاہے دنیا کی لائف ہو چاہے آخرت کی لائف ہو، دونوں کو گورن کرتے ہیں اور دونوں کو ڈٹرمن کریں گے. ہم دنیا میں کیا بنیں گے؟ ایمان اور عمل صالح. آخرت میں کیا بنیں گے؟ ایمان اور عمل صالح. دنیا کی کامیابی ایمان اور عمل صالح، آخرت کی سکسس ایمان اور عمل صالح. اور اللہ رب العزت نے یہی بیان کیا ہے سورہ مبارکہ والعصر میں. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. والعصر ان الانسان لفی خسر الا الذین آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وہ تو خاصہ ہیں، وہ تو اٹیچڈ کیریکٹرسٹکس ہیں ایمان اور عمل صالح سے. اصل ایمان اور عمل صالح ہے. پورا قرآن پڑھیے، ہر جگہ آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات، آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات. ایمان اور عمل صالح، ایمان اور عمل صالح جو ڈٹرمننگ فیکٹرز ہیں، جو موسٹ کروشل پرنسپلز ہیں، فنڈامنٹلز ہیں ہماری دنیا کی زندگی کے لیے بھی اور ہماری آخرت کی زندگی کے لیے بھی. ان دونوں میں اگر آپ کو اسوہ چاہیے، آئیڈیل چاہیے، نمونہ عمل چاہیے، تو علی ابن ابی طالب کی زندگی سے بہتر کوئی زندگی آپ کو نظر نہ آئے گی. یہ میں یوں ہی کہہ رہا ہوں، کوئی ثبوت بھی ہے، میں ہسٹری سے ثبوت پیش کر دوں. اور دونوں کی کسوٹی، دونوں کا معیار، دونوں کے لیے ایمبلم، دونوں کے لیے اگزامپل ایک ہی جنگ خندق کا ذکر ہوا. جنگ خندق میں جب مولا علی جا رہے تھے عمرو کو ہلاک کرنے کے لیے تو رسول اللہ نے کیا فرمایا؟ برز الایمان کلہ الی الکفر کلہ. آج کل ایمان کل کفر کے مقابلے میں جا رہا ہے. یا رسول اللہ آپ کا بہت بہت شکریہ، قرآن میں ہر جگہ اللہ نے ایمان کا ذکر کیا تھا. ایمان فاؤنڈیشن ہے، ایمان فنڈامنٹل ہے، ایمان پرنسپل ہے، ایمان کے بغیر کچھ نہیں. یا رسول اللہ ہمیں جیتا جاگتا چلتا پھرتا واکنگ ٹاکنگ ایمان آپ نے دکھا دیا، اور صرف ایمان نہیں کل ایمان کو پہچانوا دیا. برز الایمان کلہ الی الکفر کلہ. اور جب پلٹ کے آئے عمرو کے سر کو ہاتھ میں لیے ہوئے تو اس وقت رسول نے کیا فرمایا؟ ضربۃ علی یوم الخندق افضل من عبادت الثقلین. علی کی ایک ضربت خندق کے دن عبادت ثقلین پہ بھاری ہے. زمین والے، آسمان والے، انسان، جنات، فرشتے سب مل کے جتنی بھی عبادتیں کر لیں، جتنے بھی اعمال صالحہ بجا لیں، جتنے بھی نیک کام انجام دے لیں، وہ سب ایک طرف، علی کی ایک ضربت ایک طرف، اور علی کی ضربت کا پلہ ان تمام عبادتوں پہ بھاری ہوگا. اے علی آپ کی شان پہ ہمارا لاکھوں سلام. گئے میدان میں کل ایمان بن کے گئے، پلٹ کے آئے میدان سے تو عمل صالح کا معیار بن کے آئے. گئے تھے تو ایمان کی کسوٹی بن کے گئے تھے، اور پلٹ کے آئے ہیں تو عمل صالح کا اسٹینڈرڈ بن کے آئے. تو ابھی 5 منٹ ہوئے اور 5 منٹ میں ہی گفتگو مکمل ہو گئی. 2 منٹ باقی رہ گئے. میں صرف ایک حدیث آپ حضرات کی خدمت میں بیان کر دوں، امیر المومنین علیہ الصلوۃ والسلام کی ہے. ایک شخص آیا، اللہم صلی علی محمد، اور اس نے کہا یا امیر المومنین میرے 4 کوشچنز ہیں، میں بہت دور سے آیا ہوں اور یہ 4 کوشچنز آپ ان کا جواب بتا دیجئے۔ امیر المومنین نے کہا کہ 4 نہیں، اگر تو پوچھنا چاہتا ہے تو 40 کوشچن پوچھ لے۔ تو اس نے کہا یا امیر المومنین آپ یہ بتائیے کہ عجیب کیا ہے اور عجیب تر کیا ہے، قریب کیا ہے اور قریب تر کیا ہے، واجب کیا ہے، واجب تر کیا ہے، سخت کیا ہے، سخت تر کیا ہے۔ یہ میرے 4 کوشچنز ہیں۔ تو حقیقت میں 4 نہیں بلکہ 8 کوشچنز اس نے پوچھے۔ تو مولا نے فرمایا کہ عجیب یہ دنیا ہے، یہ دنیا عجیب ہے، بدلتے ہوئے حالات، کبھی دنیا کسی کے فیور میں ہے، کبھی کسی کے اگینسٹ ہے، کبھی دنیا میں کوئی کروڑ پتی اور اوور سڈن وہ پتہ چلا کہ روڈ پہ آ گیا، کبھی کوئی خوش ہے، ہنس رہا ہے، اتنا ہنس رہا ہے کہ ہنسی میں وہ نڈھال ہوا جا رہا ہے، کبھی کوئی رو رہا ہے اور رو رو کے وہ دنیا میں جو کچھ بھی ہو رہا ہے سب عجیب و غریب، پورا ایک ڈرامہ لگ رہا ہے۔ تو دنیا بہت عجیب جگہ ہے، اور اس سے بھی زیادہ عجیب یہ ہے کہ اس مکر و فریب سے بھری ہوئی دنیا میں بھی ہزاروں عبرتیں دیکھنے کے باوجود بھی انسان مسلسل دنیا سے دھوکہ کھا رہا ہے۔ دوسرا کوشچن، واجب کیا ہے، واجب تر کیا ہے۔ مولا نے فرمایا کہ اگر کسی سے گناہ ہو گیا ہو تو توبہ کرنا واجب ہے، اور امیڈیٹلی توبہ کرنا واجب ہے، اور اس سے بھی بڑا واجب پھر گناہ کا نہ کرنا ہے۔ توبہ کرنا بہت آسان ہے، اور وہ بھی جو ہمارے یہاں کی توبہ ہے، ایک ہاتھ سے اس گال پہ مارا، ایک ہاتھ سے اللہ اللہ توبہ، وہ تو توبہ تھوڑی ہے، تو مذاق اڑانا ہوا۔ اصل توبہ تو وہ ہے کہ جس میں ڈٹرمنیشن ہو۔ 2 چیزیں ہیں، ایک تو ریگریٹ جو کچھ ہو چکا ہے پاسٹ میں، اور فیوچر کے لیے ڈٹرمنیشن۔ These are 2 most essential pillars of tawbah. If these 2 are missing, then that is not the tawbah. تو سب سے واجب عمل توبہ ہے، اور اس سے بھی زیادہ واجب عمل دوبارہ گناہ کو نہ کرنا ہے۔ اور کوشچن کیا تھا، سخت کیا ہے اور سخت تر کیا ہے۔ مولا نے فرمایا کہ مصیبتوں پہ صبر سخت ہے، کہنا آسان ہے، مگر مصیبتوں پہ صبر کرنا، چیلنجز پہ نبرد آزما رہنا، چاہے جس شکل کی مصیبتیں ہوں، مصیبتوں پہ صبر کرنا سخت ہے، مگر اس سے بھی سخت یہ ہے کہ صبر کے ثواب کو انسان مس کر دے۔ مصیبتوں پہ صبر کرنا سخت ہے، مگر اس سے بھی سخت منزل یہ ہے کہ انسان صبر نہ کرے، بے صبری کر کے صبر کرنے کے عوض جو ملنے والا تھا اس سے خود کو محروم کر لے۔ آخری کوشچن کیا تھا، قریب کیا ہے اور قریب تر کیا ہے۔ مولا نے کہا کہ ہر وہ چیز جو آنے والی ہو وہ قریب ہے، قیامت آنے والی ہے، قیامت قریب ہے، لیکن قیامت سے بھی قریب تر موت ہے۔ جب موت آ گئی تو موت کو قیامت صغریٰ کہا جاتا ہے، مائنر قیامت کہا جاتا ہے۔ ہماری قیامت شروع ہو گئی۔ قیامت کب آئے گی؟ 1 ملین ایئرز کے بعد آئے گی، 1 ٹریلین ایئرز کے بعد آئے گی، ہم سے اس کا مطلب نہیں ہے۔ جیسے ہی موت آئی ہماری قیامت شروع ہو گئی۔ تو لوگ کبھی کوئی سوچتے ہیں قیامت کب آئے گی، یہ 1,24,000 نبی آ کر، اٹ ڈزنٹ میٹر۔ وہ ایک طرح سے کلیکٹیو قیامت ہے، اور یہ جو قیامت ہے موت، یہ پرسنل قیامت ہے۔ تو ہماری اپنی قیامت تو موت کے ذریعے سے شروع ہو گئی۔ تو قریب قیامت ہے اور قریب تر موت ہے۔ آئیے انہی الفاظ کے ساتھ اپنے ہاتھوں کو بلند کرتے ہیں، پروردگار کی بارگاہ میں دعا کرتے ہیں، معبود تجھے واسطہ محمد و آل محمد علیہ الصلوۃ کا، خاص طور پر مولود کعبہ امیر المؤمنین علی بن ابی طالب علیہ السلام کا، ہم سب کو حج بیت اللہ کی توفیق عطا فرما، تاکہ ہم اس گھر کا طواف کر سکیں جس میں علی جیسی مقدس ذات پیدا ہوئی۔ پروردگار تجھے واسطہ ہے محمد و آل محمد علیہ السلام کا، تمام مومنین مومنات، بچے نوجوان جو اس نورانی محفل میں حاضر ہوئے ہیں، امیر المومنین کے واسطے سب کی مشکل کشائی فرما، سب کی حاجت روائی فرما۔ امیر المؤمنین کے واسطے سب کو ایمان پہ قائم رکھ، سب کو ایمان کے تقاضے پورا کرنے کی توفیق عطا فرما، سب کو ایمان کے ساتھ اور on top of ایمان علی بن ابی طالب کی محبت کے ساتھ اس دنیا میں جینے کی بھی توفیق عطا فرما، اور اس دنیا سے جانے کی بھی توفیق عطا فرما۔ پروردگار تجھے واسطہ ہے محمد و آل محمد علیہ السلام کا، ہم سب پہ اپنی رحمت کاملہ نازل فرما، امام کے ظہور پر نور میں تعجیل فرما، وہ بھی ایک حیدر کرار ہے، وہ بھی وارث ذوالفقار ہے، معبود اس کے ظہور پر نور میں تعجیل فرما، اور جب تک ہمارا امام نہیں آتا ہمیں ان کی راہیں ہموار کرنے والوں میں شمار فرما، اور جب ہمارا امام تشریف لائے تو ہمیں توفیق عطا فرما کہ ہم ان کے ناصروں اور مددگاروں میں شمار ہوں۔ ربنا تقبل منا انک انت السمیع العلیم۔ ایک مرتبہ پھر تمام اہل ولا کو جشن مولود کعبہ بہت بہت مبارک ہو۔ والسلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ تعالی وبرکاتہ۔